Yeah, hey Alex, through a little over a week of practice now, what is it that stands out most to you with Baker, whether it's something that's you've seen on the field or maybe something in the building?
You see the competitive nature. There's no question. The guy loves to compete, loves to play football. One of the things that stands out there so far in all the practices has been an ability to extend the play. He has really good feel within the pocket, and he's athletic enough to get outside of the pocket. And when he does get outside the pocket, he's extremely accurate when he's on the move.
How much of the work he put in the offseason physically has played into that? Because that always been part of his game, in college rookie season. And last year didn't quite see it as much. The escape ability, do you kind of see that back with him, and then just the work that he put into his body? How much of that is translated into what you're seeing?
Yeah, no, physically did a hell of a job in the offseason getting ready, and a lot of that is, leaning down, losing a little bit of weight and leaning down. And that's going to help him as far as his movement skills go. So all the work that he's put in the offseason is definitely showing up on the field now in training camp.
Thank you, Jake. Mary Kay Cabot, you have your next question.
Hey, Coach. Can you just give us your thoughts on how Jedrick Wills has looked so far at left tackle, and how do you think it might ramp up for him now that he'll have at least some opportunities maybe to go against Miles?
Yeah, no, that'll be a great challenge for him. Olivier's a savvy veteran over there on that side who's been matched up against him for the most part. The thing about Jed is he's going to get better every day. He started out a little slow early on, just getting the tempo and the timing of the pass rushes, but he's getting better every day, and that's what we're looking for, is that arrow to continue to trend up. We knew we were going to have some growing pains moving him from right to left, but at the same point, we know that he has the ability to get it done, and he's going to continue every day to improve.
Do you think you'll kind of flip-flop Miles back and forth a little so that he, sees a little bit of O and a little bit of Miles maybe?
Yeah, not sure how that'll play out defensively, but that'd be great. The more types of pass rushers he can go against to start to build that library of how to defeat certain moves will always benefit him. But, I know Coach Callahan and Coach Peters are working hard with him. And, again, he continues to trend upward every day.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it, Mary Kay. Next question goes to Nate Ulrich.
Hey, Coach. A follow-up on Baker. How is that new footwork coming along, and just how much has he embraced it, and where are you guys at with it?
Yeah, no, he's all bought in. All the quarterbacks have all bought in. I had Case actually made a comment how he's now a believer in the footwork. He loves it as far as the rhythm and the timing. Baker put a lot of work in the offseason, and, our goal was to get him into that muscle memory, that comfort level where I'm not thinking about my feet anymore. It's an automatic deal, and he's getting there. I mean, he's really done a great job, all through training camp of sticking to that. There's been very few occasions where I'd look at his feet and say, hey, wait a second here. That's not what we're doing from a footwork standpoint. So all the quarterbacks have really been on point with that.
And when we kind of look out there and we see, some good plays on offense and then some struggles, and I know you're in the teaching phase, but I guess big picture state of the offense, how do you feel about getting ready to play in less than 3 weeks and your readiness on offense?
It is the urgency is high right now. Through training camp and the installations, we're still trying to figure out who we really are. We did not have that time in the spring. So as we get through these next 3 or 4 days of practice, now we really start as an offensive group. I think we're starting to understand what we have and what we do well and how we can exploit defenses. So as we get through this next stage of training camp and we start scaling down our installations and start really repping who we want to be and who we are, I think we'll see that tighten up. But, as we go into these practices, we're on an installation, it might be day 6, install 6, and we don't really vary from that much. So we're trying to get all the teaching of the system down and in. Once it's in, and the next time we come through after an off day, now we'll get to start really hone in and get to the formations and the personnel groupings and the schemes that we like. And we feel like that is who we will be. So we're moving in that direction, very excited about it, but the sense of urgency has to be high. We don't have any time to waste.
Excellent. Jeff Shadell, your line is now open.
Hey, Coach, who among those young receivers has stood out for you at this part of training camp?
It's a good young group. Higgins has stepped up. He really has been impressive with his ability to finish plays. He battles right to the end in the run game, in the pass game. He's getting better each day. Donovan's been a solid young rookie. He's still learning how to get it done. Jamon's in there, Montgomery's in there, that group, T2, Taiwan's in that group, and they're all really just battling for a spot right now. But I'd say Higgins right now is the one that to me is really putting the work in. He's really doing a nice job in every phase of the game.
Scott Petrick, we'll go to you.
Hey, Coach. This is your first time you've been around OBJ on the field. What stands out to you about him?
I mean, just the obviously the freaky nature of his athleticism. I mean, he can do a lot of things that guys can't do. One, getting in and out of breaks, his change of direction is I haven't seen him change of direction like that. He can start and stop on a dime. He can fly down the field too when he turns it loose and starts to run. He can outrun arms with his speed. And then his ability, his ball skills, the catches that he makes on the go balls, the crazy one-handed catches, and you see that come out. So, he's working as hard as he can right now, and we're continuing to see the types of routes that we would ask him to run. Once again, it kind of goes back to once we get through this next stage of installations, we'll really hone in and lock in on what we do well. But he does a lot of it as well, and he works hard.
I know you weren't with him last year, but does he seem happy to be there? We were talking about whether or not he's going to play and all those kind of things. Does he seem happy?
Yes, definitely. He brought a lot of energy to practice yesterday. It was kind of a strange day for us all, but he was one of the guys that came out there and he had fun with it. He flew around, and when he does that, and when Jarvis does that, guys, they tend to follow. So when those guys come out, he brought great energy yesterday and really elevated the whole group.
Thanks.
Dan Lobby, we'll go to you.
Hey, Coach, you kind of mentioned him in passing earlier, but I wanted to ask you about Bill Callahan. What does he bring to this staff?
Oh, just great experience. I mean, the O-line knowledge that he has, I'm learning something from him every day, from his drill work, to his teaching of the installation. He's a huge part of how we'll be successful up front. And I think the guys really do appreciate his knowledge, and I think they've all bought into his techniques and his style of play. And, we're going to get better because of that for sure.
A few guys have said all he talks about is football, even as a coach. I mean, does that stand out to you a little bit?
No, we have conversations about other things, but obviously in the middle of training camp, football seems to be the focus.
Thanks.
Tony Grossi, you have our next question. Tony, I think you need to hit unmute on your side, please. All right, some technical difficulties there. We'll go to Mary Kay Cabot.
He Coach, that long ball that that Odell went up and the jump ball that he got in double coverage from Baker. Obviously, great play by Odell. But how nice was it to see those two hook up, on a deep ball like that, and maybe start to see some chemistry starting to come along between those two guys?
It was really good. It was a heck of a play by Odell. We talked to Baker about probably not the best decision based on just some of the feet that happened. He had to negotiate a rush, and that kind of gets your timing off. So the decision to throw the ball, we weren't really, all in on. But we're going to give Odell and those receivers as many chances. We get in a one-on-one situation, we're going to give those guys opportunity balls, chances to go up and make plays on the ball. That was one of the ones that stands out, but there have been 3 or 4 more in practice where we just give those guys a chance to catch the ball, and put it in play and give them an opportunity to go up and make a play. And Odell's going to do that 9 out of 10 times.
Thanks, Coach.
Jake Trotter, we'll go back to you.
Yeah, Alex, it's been hard not to notice the chemistry that Baker has had with Hooper already. A guy like that, what can he do for a quarterback? Last year, tight end play was kind of sporadic, guys rotating in and out due to injuries or whatever. It seems like they have a really unique chemistry already, and then he seems like he's going to stabilize that position for you.
Yeah, I know they spent a lot of time together in the offseason, so there was a lot of work done prior to them getting here. So I think that connection was made then. Oftentimes, the tight end is a quarterback's best friend. He's closest to him more often than not in the route progressions. They're easier throws. They're big targets. So having that rapport, and I really think that stands for all our tight ends. Our tight ends have done a great job in this camp all the way down the line of being where they're supposed to be. And I think the more they play together, obviously, the stronger that bond becomes. It's that unwritten, the body language things that you can't really coach and teach. When 2 guys get on that same page, it's tough to stop.
Ellis Williams, your line is open.
Hey, Coach. I want to go back and ask you a little bit more about Baker's new footwork, specifically how it's helping him throw the football. Can you point to any 1 or 2 examples where you've seen the footwork paying off? Like, is he not sailing the ball as often? Just in terms of footwork and how it's relating to him throwing the ball, what have you seen?
The biggest thing is just the rhythm and the timing. And that's the thing for quarterbacks in this system for the first time going through it. We really believe in listening to our feet. Your feet really tell you where you are within the progression. Oftentimes you get in trouble if you don't listen to your feet. And that means you're spending too much time on a route, and then you have a tendency to force the ball in. So there's been multiple situations when we have listened to our feet, and there's been multiple situations yet where we're still teaching that progression for the quarterback. So, the biggest thing I would say for him is just the accuracy in the three-step game shows up a lot better now with this footwork. It's more rhythmic.
Great answer, Coach. Thank you.
Tony Grossi, your line should be open now.
Okay, Alex, sorry, apologize. My connection keeps going in and out. Hopefully I'm not repeating a question. The 2-minute drill, what's the state of it? I don't know if I've seen one on the practice field yet. Have I missed it? And where are you at in implementing it?
Yes, we have had a 2-minute practice. It was during the walkthrough portion of practice. Today happens to be a 2-minute day for the next couple of days now. So we're at that point in the installation where that now is the 2-minute installation. So that's where we are right now. We have repped it. We've gone over it multiple times in the spring and here in training camp. We did walk through it on the field. Now we'll get to put it to live action today.
Thanks, Tony. We'll go to Nate Ulrich.
So do you expect to run one every day going forward?
I'm not sure about that. I don't think that'll be the case, but we're definitely going to put an emphasis on it here for the next few days.
Okay, now we'll go to Nate Ulrich.
Hey, Coach, just to piggyback off what you said about the tight ends a minute ago, Harrison Bryant has seemed to really jump out. What's allowing him to consistently make plays out there as a rookie with, no OTAs, no minicamp, but he shows up and he's just been reliable for you?
And that was Harrison's MO. He was a smart guy. I remember sitting in on the combine interview with him explaining his system. I don't know if I would have been able to learn his system as well as he knew it. So he's definitely, he puts the hours in of the study. And much like anybody else, the receivers in this system, if you're where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there, there's a good chance you're going to get the ball thrown to you. And that's what he's done. He's just been consistent every time of being where he's supposed to be at the proper time, and he's making the plays. The balls are coming to him based on the reads, nothing more than that. And when he does have the opportunity, he is making the plays right now.
And you mentioned yesterday being strange. Obviously, it was strange for us in the media, but how weird was it yesterday for you from your perspective? And was there any positive that could come out of it?
Well, it was a heck of a dry run on worst case scenario. I came in early and I wasn't allowed in the building, and that to me, I was nervous. I wondered if this was it. You start thinking about all the things that could happen if that were the case. I also thought about my in-laws who were visiting for a day at our house, and then how was I going to affect them if I was possibly, had a positive test too. So when you don't know that there were false negatives, you're very concerned. Very concerned. But at that point, once we figured out that everything was going to be okay, I was really proud of the men. They transitioned right back into work mode. We had a meeting. We had another scheduled meeting for later on in that afternoon virtually, and then we got to go ahead and come back in the building. Those guys transitioned in the drop of a dime. They were in the building, and they put together a heck of a practice yesterday. I was really proud of the way they responded. But it was a really good dry run for us as coaches and players to be ready to perform any of our meetings from the house and from our home offices. So it was a little bit unsettling early, but I was really proud of the way the day went for our guys, and they really showed up and responded well.